So, JG, the quarterfinals, they're all over now. We've seen Milos Raonic. He's made it through with an amazing comeback against Filip Krajinovic. And also, in the other semi-final, we're going to be having Novak Djokovic versus Roberto Bautista Agut. We're also going to be reviewing the US Open draw that came out today and looking at all the top 4 players' routes through to the final, and also looking at some very interesting first-round matchups.
Hi, I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
So the semi-finalists are confirmed. Milos Raonic, in what was an epic match last night, managed to somehow come back from the brink against Filip Krajinovic. It was 6-4 and a break, all the way up to 5-3 down, and somehow comes back and wins. Well, this guy is really back for good, I think.
Well, they're both the two informed players right now, and I'm just kind of surprised that Raonic was able to show that mental strength. Not that he didn't have it, but I just feel like Krajinovic, the way he was playing, was just unstoppable. So it was very hard for Raonic really to get into the game. Definitely. There's a lot of times where Raonic hits them big shots, and it's kind of like they're winners. And he obviously comes towards the net, and usually 9 times out of 10, that's the point over. But Krajinovic was just getting them back, and not just knocking it back. He was passing Raonic and actually hitting winners, which was just ridiculously impressive.
Yeah,
but fair play. It was a brilliant match. It lived up to the bill for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Went the distance, and Raonic come out on top.
Yeah, I think he really did well to change up his game. It obviously wasn't working as well in those first set and a half. And then you really saw Raonic up the aggression towards the end of the second set. And he was hitting it hard, like to the body, and rushing the net, aggressive rushes to the net, forcing Krajinovic to really make a decision quick. And he was hitting one wide, and it was difficult. And Raonic was volleying.
With Krajinovic, though, for me, I feel like it's an opportunity that went away for him. I feel like he should have still won that match and closed it out. Even if he's just been broken, I feel like he should have at least played a better tiebreak, because at the tiebreak he made a few unforced errors. I think he lost it 7-2, and it wasn't very close of a tiebreak. And I feel like that's a bit of a disappointing effort, knowing that if he was to win that tiebreak, obviously then you'll be going through to the semi-finals.
But then again, if you'd have said to him, you're going to be in the quarterfinals of a Masters 1000 and you're going to be a set and a break up against Milos Raonic, I'm sure he probably would have taken going into a final set against Milos Raonic. So, really great week for him anyway, regardless. He's put himself on the map for people.
He'll got the rankings a bit as well. And I'm sure it puts him now in good stead for the US Open.
Exactly.
Which are we going to get onto now, or should we talk about... I think that was everything, yeah?
Let's just cover just quickly, because I know that we've not really done it justice, but let's just have a quick look. Obviously, Stefanos Tsitsipas, he did go through. I mean, it was a default, obviously. Opelka, he went out just by injury. Bit sad to see him just go out in that way, but Tsitsipas could be the one who takes the tournament. He's now up against, obviously, Milos Raonic now in the semi-final. This is really interesting because we've got in the other semi-final Djokovic and Bautista Agut, and then we've got Raonic and Tsitsipas. And there's some quite interesting statistics to what you think would be an interesting final. If Raonic was to go through and face Djokovic, let's say, in the final, Raonic has played Djokovic 10 times and never beaten him. So I don't think that's going to make for a great final. I
think they play each other. Did they not come across each other in the Australian Open?
Yes, and I think straight sets.
It was really comfortable, yeah.
That's what I mean. He'd not lost a set the whole tournament and then lost it.
Let's not just go disregarding Agut here, because if I'm not mistaken, he's beaten Djokovic the last 3 times. Is that right? He won the last 3 on hardcourt.
Yeah, he did win. Yeah, he won in the Miami Masters in 2019. He won in Doha in 2018, and he also beat him in the Shanghai Masters in 2016. So, yeah, you're right. The last 3 hard-court meetings between these two, Bautista Agut. He's been
That's
looking.
what I'm saying.
That is a good statistic coming into that match.
Yeah, and that's not a statistic many people would know, really, and you wouldn't really expect it. And I've seen recently on Twitter that Djokovic has, it wasn't him directly tweeting it, but someone was tweeting on behalf of him, saying how he actually is quite fearful about this match against Agut. And he says that he's one of the most underrated players on tour, and he deserves a lot more praise than what he gets. I give him a lot, to be fair, but clearly my voice has not been being heard too much.
I was going to say, you always tell me that you have a gut feeling that he's going to do well in the tournaments, but with that record, Raonic Djokovic, obviously Raonic lost all 10 meetings against Djokovic. But the other interesting one is if he plays Bautista Agut, he's played him 5 times and beaten him all 5 times as well. Mm-hmm. So it's completely the opposite way. So he's probably hoping for Bautista Agut to be making it through into this final.
I hope Tsitsipas isn't watching this. You're not really giving him much credit. Or giving him much of a chance.
Well, Tsitsipas is against Djokovic. He's actually got the best record probably against Djokovic in total. He's played him 5 times and beaten him twice. And that's a pretty good record against Djokovic for anybody, really. And with the Bautista Agut, he's only played him just the once and beaten him once. So he'll fancy his chances against either of those, I think, if he gets to the final. But yeah, he's not there yet. He's got Milos Raonic, who has been in the best form we've seen in many years now. So,
since 2018, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so we'll look forward to when that. Obviously, there's a break in the play today, so we're able to catch up on a couple of matches. But yeah, we're waiting for those matches to just get played, and then we'll be straight back on it, giving you our thoughts. But yeah, maybe leave in the comments below. What do you think the final's going to be? Who do you think is going to make it through? And who do you think is going to win the tournament as well? Because now there's only 4 to pick from. Come on, 25% chance.
I'm going to go safe. I'm going to say Djokovic.
I'm going to go Tsitsipas. And there we go. Unfortunately, I've ruled out Raonic, which means he'll probably win now.
We're going to see a Raonic Agut final.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So
but anyway, let's move on to the draw. That's the big news today is the US Open draw's been announced, and to say the least, it's some very interesting matchups. It's like, to be fair, I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's just so many good players in the tour. It's maybe because we've become doing this podcast, we've become familiar with so many more players. I feel.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
I feel like we rate a lot more players than what we did prior.
Definitely.
So because of that, I'm looking down the draw and I'm thinking, oh, that's a tough match. That's a tough match.
They're all tough matches.
And then at the end of the day, I need to realise it's a Grand Slam. They're all tough matches. There's not an easy one in there. But I don't know where you really want to start. I drew up some like possible routes for like some of the big players to sort of see like who they could face.
Yeah.
So do you want to start with doing a few of them? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, we can obviously, the one person everybody's going to be expecting to go far in it is going to be Novak Djokovic. He's at the top of the draw as always, number 1 seed. Going to be facing Damir Djumur in the first round, if that's the correct pronunciation. Apologies to any. Yeah, probably not. Any Bosnians out there, apologise for that. Going to be playing him in the first round. I see him going through there fairly safely, and he could face a Kyle Edmund in the second round potentially.
Or a Bublik.
It
depends when Bublik turns up, because I feel like there's a lot of people saying Edmund's going to be the second round match, but I don't know. With Bublik, when he's playing, when he wants to play,
he's very good.
Obviously, he's come out in an interview and he says he doesn't like tennis. He doesn't enjoy tennis. He just does it purely to make a living. Yeah. So just to give you a bit of background information about this guy, but his abilities, you can't really fault it. And if he's on form and wants to play, there's a good chance he could beat Edmund. So. Yeah, wouldn't rule that out.
And then
I feel like, as a whole, to talk about Djokovic's route to the potential final / winning it does seem now, like looking at it all written out, I just can't see him losing. Do you know what I mean? He's so good, isn't he? Just Djokovic is just so good, and you just look at all them players he could potentially be playing. You think,
third round,
can't see him losing any of them.
Maybe I think it's going to be Struff again by the looks of it.
Struff as well.
And then the next round it could be between, I think, 3 different Isner, Carreno, Buster, or Berankis again. So I reckon he's got all their numbers. And then a bit more tough in the quarterfinals, possibly Krajinovic, Shapovalov, or Goffin. I had down for that.
That's exactly what I've got written.
Yeah,
down.
and then that's when you finally get to the semi-finals is when potentially he could face Tsitsipas.
For me, his route to the quarterfinal is just stone, like it's 100, more or less 100% for me. Like you can't say that in tennis because anything's possible, and we've seen some crazy upsets before in the past. But for me, you can't see him not getting to the quarterfinal. Like I feel like he could be doing that, playing at 50%, and then after that, that's when it gets a bit more tricky, playing potentially either a Shapovalov or a Goffin. I think they're going to be tough matches. Then a semi-final matchup with either Tsitsipas Zverev. If he gets Zverev, you'd fancy him to beat him quite comfy, I feel. But Tsitsipas could be. We'll see how Cincinnati goes because them two could face off in the finals. Yeah,
exactly. Let's see. We might get a preview.
Yeah, and then obviously the final. That's the only way you can play either Thiem or Medvedev. So
yeah, exactly. So that will be a very interesting to see their routes through as well. I think same with Tsitsipas a little bit. I don't really see anyone causing him any problems there coming across.
Do you want to have a look at Medvedev's one first?
Yeah, Medvedev's one. Del Bonis in the first round could face an interesting second. I think he'll probably win, but Chris O'Connell's getting there in the draw. I've seen he's up against Laszlo Djere in the first round.
Yeah, I see Djere probably coming out on top. He's a bit more of an experienced player, but we know how good Chris O'Connell is.
Yeah.
This is his first Grand Slam, is it not?
No, he played Australian Open, obviously wild card at the beginning of the year.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. He played
and then he
bagelled
Rublev.
Many, no. Because I'll tell you why I say that. I saw a list the other day, and it was just talking about all the players who have entered this tournament and how many times they've played in the Grand Slam, and it was quite interesting to see. Could you take a guess at who's played the most slams who's in this tournament?
Ivo Karlovic.
He's up there. He's top 5.
Andy Murray might be up there as well.
Andy Murray's down about, I forget now, maybe between 5 and 10.
Oh, really? Between 5 and 10? Oh, my God. That means some old boys in this draw then. Try and see some other oldies in this draw.
You've got to get it, I feel. I'll give you how many. It's 74 slams he's played.
74 slams?
Yeah.
Wow. Cole Schreiber?
He's up there, top 5. I
was going to say he's probably up there as well. And it's not him either.
No.
Wow. Come on, it's going to be somebody who's pretty old.
I'll give you a clue. Djokovic is on 61, I believe, or 60s.
He's in the 60s.
Djokovic is in the 60s.
That's a lot of.
Well, he rarely misses them. He's not going to not qualify for one, is he? Put you a bit on the spot.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. There's such a big list of players here. I don't think I'm going to get it, and we're just going to run the clock down. I think you're going to have to reveal it for me.
Feliciano Lopez.
Where was he? He's just staring right at me there. He's right there.
So Feliciano Lopez was 74 slams. So I was just looking at it. There's obviously a few debutants, notably. We've got our main man of the podcast, Attila Balazs.
Attila Balazs against another fan favourite of the podcast, the Kukushkin.
And Rusevori is his first one. And then you've got Correa, his first one.
Yeah.
Some big players who we love, and it's their first slam, which is
both Wild's in there as well.
That's his first slam.
Yeah, you've got Brandon Nakashima, JJ Wall.
His first slam.
That's what I mean. Yannick Sinner's in there as well, don't forget.
It's not his first.
No, I know, but that's why that one I just want to say Yannick Sinner's quite an interesting one there because he's got to play in his first match, I think it is Karen Khachanov. And if he was to get past that, I think people would really take him seriously. Because if he was to squeeze past Karen Khachanov, where is he? Yeah.
Sinner's had a few disappointing results of late, though. There's a game I saw him play recently where I thought he should have won, and he come out and lost that one quite comfortably. So, but he's obviously got all the ability. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on.
But Rusevori, if we move on to him, he's up against Arjaz Badeni in the first round, which is a really tough match. But I think he can do it. I think he's got potential to.
It depends what Badeni turns up. Like with the Cincinnati Badeni, could be quite tough because he played quite well. but typically you wouldn't have expected him to get as far as what he did.
No.
And I feel like Ruusuvuori could, I don't want to say, he could probably be favourite for that tie.
And
maybe that's because I just love LaRusso.
Yeah, we do love him. I reckon if he was to get through that would probably, he could potentially set up a third round match with Berrettini again. So he's obviously just had such a close match with him there at Cincinnati. Imagine if we get to see it again, but in 5 sets. Yeah.
Well, I think we need to talk about that. So the whole thing with 5 sets is a bit crazy, isn't it? Because Medvedev was asked in an interview after his match against Agut when he lost, and he was talking about what he thinks about the upcoming US Open and playing in 5 sets. And he was saying how he thinks there's going to be a lot of players who you see going to withdraw from matches, a lot of retirements. People are going to find it very difficult to be playing 5 sets after not playing tennis for so long. We've seen the fatigue level playing 3 sets at Cincinnati. And I feel like it's going to be even tougher. Well, it definitely will be playing a slam for a start and then playing 5 sets on top of it. There was also talks that maybe they might reduce it to 3 sets. But he was asked about that as well. And he was saying he doesn't think that's ever going to happen, which I don't think so either. And to be fair, like, there's always the debate about it being an asterisk Grand Slam's already been well underway. I feel like if they change it to 3 sets, you may as well slap 2 asterisks down on it.
Yeah, I can't reduce the sets. I mean, it sorts the men from the boys. That's the real test.
That's what makes it a slam. I feel it's like a bit of an endurance thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. See who those, and that's when you get those epic came from 2 sets down to win in 5. Those are the crazy ones you remember. And that's what all the Grand Slams are about.
But anyway, let's go back to Medvedev because we've not actually finished him off. So in the round 3, I've got him down to be potentially playing Guido Pella or Feliciano Lopez. That's what I was saying.
I've got more Pella, but I haven't seen him play much.
Pella will get there, but you never know. Solid. Lopez, he's got enough experience. He's got 74 slams in the bank.
I know, yeah. So you'd think he's been around the block enough to know how to perform at the slams.
And then round 4, I've got Dimitrov Bashvili.
I've got Dimitrov. I don't think
you never know.
You never know. I just think he's got a lot going on off the court, and I just think maybe his focus might not be there.
I'm pretty sure we'll have the same quarterfinal, right? Where you got Berrettini and Rublev.
Yeah.
Either of them.
I don't think either for Rublev.
In fact, I do think maybe Medvedev has one of the toughest ones. He's got a really tough run in. If I'm looking at it now, Pella round 3, a potential Dimitrov round 4,
is horrible,
Berrettini or Rublev quarterfinal, and then the semi-final. He still can't get away for it. He's either got a Agut or Thiem.
Yeah, they're the ones, aren't they?
Yeah, and then the final, Djokovic Tsitsipas. So.
Potentially.
if he can get that far, then he's got to beat one of them 2. But we've seen Medvedev play before. Obviously, the finalist last year against Nadal.
What I'm hoping is there's
almost come back and won that as well. So,
I'm hoping we're going to see. I know it's a bit of a crazy thing to say, but I'm just hoping we're just going to see some real shocks in this tournament. I just want to see.
We've already seen one in Cincinnati with Thiem. No one saw that one. Him going out, did we?
But maybe we'll see Krajinovic perform again, though, because he was been doing really well in that tournament. We could see him potentially make a quarterfinal again or something, maybe up in that Djokovic side of the draw. So that's potential.
Yeah, for sure.
I've
got teams here as well. Do you want to have a look?
Yeah. Let's have a quick browse of teams.
Because with Thiem, I feel like this is a big tournament now for him after the upset in Cincinnati. So I've got him. What's he got? Munar first round.
Could lose that. Munar's not too bad. He plays the way he did against. I think Krajinovic was just playing off out of his skin though. So, and then I've got second round. He should be fairly comfortable. Summit Nagal or Bradley Klan.
Yeah.
Third round, who did you have for that? I
got Cilic.
Yeah, Cilic bang. And then fourth round, I wasn't really sure because there's an interesting section. This section, probably the most interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
And I
think it's very close ties, all of them. That's why I put a few names down.
Yeah, I put down maybe Evans, Murray, or Felix.
Yeah, I've got the same 3.
But I don't know. It just depends how Murray.
I think Murray's there only for sentimental reasons. Because does he play Murray? Would he play maybe Murray in the second round? Or
who's that?
On the other side? Evans. Would Evans play Murray?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And I think Evans would. I do feel like Evans would beat Murray.
Well, I think
We've already seen him in the Battle of the Bridge that he beat him.
Yeah, because he would be playing. Well, he's got a tough first round match. Murray Nishioka is a horrible first round match for Murray. He's very quick around the court, very good power player.
Yeah, you don't want to start with him, do you?
And Felix could be his. I think could be his next match after that, and that's not a nice match either. So. Yeah,
right. Yeah, sorry, he's playing Felix. Yeah.
Felix, and then if he gets past Felix, could be Dan Evans after that. Or
okay.
So it's not an easy draw for Murray at all. He's got he's going to really have to work to get far in this tournament. But you never know. He's been there. He's won it. He's done it before.
And then of course Dominic Thiem as well, because we're talking it from Thiem's perspective, but then Murray has still got to play Thiem if he gets that far. And then I've got them for a quarterfinal. Thiem could play either Agut or Khachanov. And then a semi-final of Medvedev, Berrettini, final Djokovic, Tsitsipas.
I don't know why I always rule out Khachanov for some reason. I don't even give him...
You don't give him enough. You never have, really.
I've never seen him perform in the slams well enough, though. He's obviously quite young, but he falls off a little bit, like after he does well early.
I think he's been a bit unlucky, really, in his career with the fact that he's always been drawn against some really informed player at the time, and at the end of the day you need a bit of luck in these slams to have a good run of the draw, really.
And interesting that we were putting Dimitrov as a potential matchup for Medvedev, but we're completely ruling out the fact he's playing in the first round Tommy Paul, and this is the same match from I believe the Australian Open that Dimitrov actually went out to Tommy Paul. So don't rule out Tommy Paul, because he is very, very good on hard court, and he proved it in the Australian Open. So I'm excited. That's probably one of the most exciting first round matchups for me out of all of them.
I agree.
We could see some real early shocks, I think.
I think that's the battle of the colourful T-shirts, that one.
Yeah.
They both have a nice number on.
You have to have your sunglasses on for that one, I think. It's so fluorescent in that stadium. There's some other interesting matches there that potential, like maybe upsets. We've got like John Millman against Bautista. I think Millman could cause an upset there quite easily.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's much of an upset. I would say Bautista is probably just favourite, but Millman, we've seen how good he is. He was very unlucky in Cincinnati just to go out to John Isner in an extremely close third set match. Went to a tie break and he lost that 7-5. So it just shows that he's obviously a high level player. And yeah, I wouldn't even classify that as an upset though. John Millman really beating Bautista. No one really blinked at it.
No, what do you make of Dennis Kudla's chance? He's normally pretty good at the US Open. He's got Marin Cilic in the first round. That could be, if he turns up, if he's got rid of those piano playing fingers that he was talking about on the podcast with us.
Yeah, no, I've not seen much of Cilic for a while, so I'm not really sure what to expect.
No,
post Corona.
Not getting any younger, is he?
No, he's just obviously had a kid as well. He's a father now, so his life's he's changed quite a bit. I'd still fancy him to beat him. He's a bit more of an experienced player. We've seen him as a slam winner at the end of the day. So yeah,
definitely.
What about Tsitsipas' draw? You got that one?
Tsitsipas, yeah, he's up against Ramos Vinolas in the first round.
His second round matchup's going to be a good one.
His second round matchup, yeah.
One of your favourite players.
He could be up against Mr. Chip and Charge himself, Maxime
Cressy.
Yeah, but Maxime Cressy's got a tough match. He's up against Joseph Kovalik, and that's not an easy match at all. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe Kovalik would probably go through in that one, to be honest. But then there's Donskoy's in there as well. Don't forget. We got to cheer on Donskoy.
But with Tsitsipas, I feel like the first 3 rounds specifically, it seems like they're all kind of players he will beat quite comfortably, like looking at his game, the way he plays. And I don't think too much should cause him too much trouble. I think 4th round could be a bit tricky because he's got for me, I've got Garin or Lajovic.
Yeah, I mean, both of those I feel... On hard court, I don't think he's going to struggle against either of them.
I don't know, because Lajovic and the ATP Cup, some of the tennis I saw from him there, that was at the beginning of the year, I was really surprised how the high level he was playing. Granted, he had Djokovic watching him from a very close position, and I feel like you'd be a bit nervous. You'd probably try and play your best tennis just out of fear that Djokovic is going to end up throwing his racket at you. Yeah. But no, I thought Lajovic looked really good, and that's why I put him up as high as I have. But then after that, you'd fancy either Zverev or Schwartzman I put in there.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
Schwartzman, we haven't really... I had him in there as well. I thought Schwartzman, we could see potentially go quite far in this tournament. As long as he avoids big servers, I think. I just think that with those, like you saw against Opelka and stuff, they're able to get so wide, the serves, and I don't think he's got the wingspan to deal with these big servers as well.
Yeah.
But when he's up in just a normal rally and match against somebody just normal height, he seems to be like really, he's always in the match. And
not normal, you mean average?
Well,
what's normal?
I don't know. Normal, I would say, like in tennis terms, is probably between 5, like, I don't know, probably between 5'8" and 6'3".
Yeah, I think the word you're looking for is average, not normal. You can't have average? Normal height. I don't know. But I understand I understand what you're trying to make.
I don't want to say people are abnormal. So I don't want to get in trouble for saying that.
But no, then he can't Tsitsipas. He can't really avoid Djokovic until the semis. He won't be playing Djokovic in the final. That's for sure this year.
Who do you think's going to win out of Attila and Kukushkin? I'm really interested in this one.
Probably Kukush.
I know, I've got that as well.
But Kukush, I've not seen much positive from him of late.
No.
I don't think he's won many matches.
Jordan Thompson could be one that makes it through a few rounds based on his draw, I think. He's not been playing too badly either. So I think keep an eye on him. He's got a strong Tash game. So he's been playing all right. I don't know if there's any other Benoit Paire. Maybe we'll take a look against who he's up against. I can't pronounce this guy's name at all, unfortunately. So I'll have a go at it. It's Kamil Machlazak.
Yeah,
is that right?
Guy.
Machlazak?
I'm not sure I'd say either.
Machlazak. Yeah, he's up against him. I'd expect him to win that match. But then he could be up against a Caruso or a Duckworth in the next round.
Camille's played a lot of matches, though. He's been very busy, and he's been playing a lot of Polish exhibitions. And but he's definitely going to have a lot of match fitness, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, especially the way Paire played in this last match. But probably fancy his chances against him.
I think that'll be quite a tight match.
We will see. Paire normally
I reckon that's going to be a 5 sets. You'll start off with 5 sets against a Paire Camille 5-setter.
That'll be interesting. And we got Martin Fucsovics against a big clay court player, Hugo Dellien, the Bolivian.
Yeah, it's good that Dellien and Pella have been cleared to play in the US Open. That's good for them both. Obviously, they wasn't able to play in Cincinnati due to their trainer testing positive. But they've had enough negative tests now, and they're allowed to play in the US, so that's good.
I wanted to get your take on just one final one. I saw Brandon Nakashima. God, I can't find his name now.
That's always the way. That draw, there's so many players.
There's literally 128 players. Brandon Nakashima up against Paolo Lorenzi in the first round, which it's not a bad first round match. He's a very experienced player, Lorenzi. But I do fancy...
He's 40. He's over 40 now, isn't he?
I think he's up there, pushing it. I fancy Nakashima, I have to say, in that match.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I think Nakashima will get that done.
Something interesting as well for the next round. It could be Alex Zverev, who we know was not playing particularly well. Nakashima Zverev, could see Nakashima move through. But you never know. It's all about how the people play on the day. Zverev might suddenly just turn up and actually be the Zverev we know.
We've seen how good he is. So.
Oh, we know how good he is. Look, I mean, he won, the Tour Finals. So...
Yeah.
No, you don't win the Tour Finals without being an incredible tennis player. So hopefully we get to see the best of him again at some point, because it just seems a bit strange that somebody can be top 7 in the world yet underperform consistently.
Yeah. I agree. So, anyway, I think that's quite a good matchup for the US Open draw.
Yeah.
And I guess now it's just all eyes on Cincinnati. We've got the semi-finals tomorrow.
The women's
and then
as
we'll
well.
probably do and then the women's one as well. Conta's still there.
Yeah, she is.
It's got a good chance of maybe winning it and snatching the tournament. Osaka, Mertens, we've obviously, well, there's a bit of controversy today with Osaka standing up for Black Lives Matter movement and saying that she's withdrawn from the tournament. But since then, that's been U-turned. She spoke to the USTA about it, and she's now playing. So that's good for her, I guess. I guess we'll play some more tennis, and she feels that all it's gonna do is help the movement. And I can kind of see what she means. If she was to play the final and win, at least she would have more of a stage for her voice to be heard, I feel.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I can see her doing that. I can honestly see her going all the way and winning this tournament. So,
oh, definitely, she's the highest seed that's left in.
Yeah.
So, and you would expect her to. Well, she's got the ability to do it, but can she beat Jo Konta? That's the question. Can anyone?
Find out.
We'll continue to keep an eye on her progress, but yeah, we'll cover that in probably the next one once all the matches are played. We'll update you probably at the end of the week with the results and all the challenges as well. But,
perfect. We'll do that then. We'll do a short podcast now. So thanks guys for listening.
Indeed.
Make sure you like, comment and subscribe if you've not already, and we'll see you on the next one.